The world watched with bated breath as news broke of a high-level phone call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and former U.S. President Donald Trump, now back in office. This unexpected dialogue, the first since Trump's return to power, has sent ripples through the global political landscape. The timing is critical, coming amidst the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and escalating tensions between Russia and the West. The details of the conversation, as revealed by sources close to both leaders, suggest a potential shift in the dynamics of this complex relationship. While the content remains largely confidential, the very fact that the call took place signifies a willingness to engage in dialogue. This is a significant development, given the frosty relations that have characterized U.S.-Russia interactions in recent years. The call has sparked intense speculation and analysis from experts and observers worldwide. Some view it as a potential breakthrough, a glimmer of hope for de-escalation and a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine crisis. Others remain cautious, wary of Putin's motives and skeptical of Trump's ability to negotiate effectively with the Russian leader. The world waits, holding its breath to see what, if anything, will come of this unexpected conversation. One thing is certain, the stakes are incredibly high, and the outcome of this renewed dialogue could have far-reaching implications for global security and stability. Putin extended a formal invitation to Trump for a face-to-face meeting in Moscow. This move, laden with symbolism, suggests a desire on Putin's part to re-engage with the U.S., potentially signaling a shift in Russia's foreign policy approach. Trump, known for his unconventional diplomatic style, countered with a proposal for an initial meeting on neutral ground, suggesting Saudi Arabia as a possible venue. The choice of Saudi Arabia, a key player in the Middle East with close ties to both the U.S. and Russia, reflects the complex geopolitical web surrounding this potential meeting. It remains to be seen whether this neutral ground will foster an environment conducive to productive discussions. The invitation itself, however, marks a significant development. It represents a bold move by Putin to break the diplomatic ice that has settled between Russia and the West since the Ukraine conflict began. Accepting the invitation would be a bold move for Trump as well, potentially signaling a willingness to prioritize direct engagement over multilateral diplomacy. The potential meeting, whether in Moscow, Saudi Arabia, or elsewhere, has become the focal point of intense speculation and anticipation. The world watches, eager to see if this unexpected invitation will lead to a substantive breakthrough, or simply become another chapter in the long and complicated history of U.S.-Russia relations. Throughout his political career, Trump has consistently advocated for a less interventionist foreign policy, emphasizing the need for dialogue and diplomacy over military solutions. This stance, often met with skepticism and criticism, has been particularly evident in his approach to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Trump has repeatedly called for a swift and peaceful resolution to the war, urging both sides to find common ground and end the bloodshed. In his phone call with Putin, Trump reiterated his desire for peace, emphasizing the devastating humanitarian cost of the conflict. He stressed the need for a negotiated settlement that addresses the legitimate security concerns of all parties involved. While details of the proposed peace plan remain undisclosed, sources suggest that Trump is pushing for a ceasefire and the withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukrainian territory. Trump's call for peace resonates with a global audience weary of war and its devastating consequences. However, his approach has drawn criticism from those who believe it concedes too much to Russia and fails to hold Putin accountable for the invasion. The feasibility of a negotiated settlement at this juncture remains uncertain. The complexities of the conflict, coupled with the deep mistrust between the parties involved, present formidable obstacles. Nonetheless, Trump's unwavering commitment to finding a peaceful solution offers a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak and uncertain landscape. The Pentagon, under the leadership of Secretary of Defense Peter Auricularis, has adopted a more cautious stance on the prospects of a swift resolution to the Ukraine conflict. While acknowledging the importance of diplomacy, Auricularis has emphasized the need for realism and a clear-eyed assessment of the situation on the ground. He has publicly stated that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders, a key demand of the Ukrainian government, is unrealistic and unattainable in the current geopolitical climate. Auricularis's assessment reflects the Pentagon's concerns about Russia's military capabilities and its strategic objectives in the region. The Pentagon believes that Russia, despite facing setbacks in Ukraine, remains a formidable military power capable of escalating the conflict. Auricularis has also voiced concerns about the potential for the conflict to spill over into neighboring NATO countries, triggering a wider war with potentially catastrophic consequences. The Pentagon's focus on security guarantees for Ukraine and its neighbors highlights the delicate balance that needs to be struck in any peace negotiations. While a negotiated settlement is the most desirable outcome, it cannot come at the expense of Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity or the security of the broader region. The Pentagon's perspective, while less optimistic than Trump's, underscores the complexities of the situation and the need for a comprehensive approach that addresses both the immediate need for peace and the long-term security concerns of all parties involved.